Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, apparently California is a shithole. Let's just call it that. It's a shithole. It's a pile of garbage. It is not a good place to live. And we have now a district attorney, a DA, if you will, that is trying to remove a judge because, excuse me, my God, I apologize. That is trying to remove a judge that is what you would call preventing a guy from wanting to go to rejecting a guy's appeal so that way he doesn't be, left to go free and go murder more people. Because he's already murdered three people, one being a witness. So therefore, he's just the DA is attacking this judge for rejecting his appeal. And he's been been doing it for 16 years. I mean, if you guys just don't believe me, which, hopefully I earned some of my credibility and respect that's up with you guys at least a little bit, take a look for yourself, but, it's eye-opening. Yeah.
Yeah, tonight we are hearing from people unhappy with what the DA is doing and how she's doing it. Price recently took the extraordinary step of announcing in a social media video that she will try to prevent a veteran judge from ever hearing a criminal case again.
Can she do that? ABC 7 News IT reporter Dan Noyes has been looking into it, and you're here with the info for us now. Dan.
Well, Amma and Dan, once again, Pam Price has refused my request for an interview, but she's trying a new tactic, posting recorded statements on social media that don't allow for any follow-up questions. Several longtime veterans in the field of criminal justice, lawyers and judges tell me they've never seen anything like this. A district attorney going on social media and attacking a judge.
Judge Mark Mcannon overstepped his boundaries as a judicial officer.
Pam Price says that Mark Mcannon, Superior Court judge for 10 years, appointed by Governor Jerry Brown, before that an Alameda County prosecutor for 16 years, should hear no more criminal cases.
My office will file a motion to disqualify him from hearing any criminal cases being prosecuted by our office.
It's all because Judge Mcannon rejected the plea deal Price offered Delonzo Logwood, accused of 3 murders, one during a carjacking robbery, a murder for hire, and killing a witness set to testify against his stepbrother. He faces 75 years to life in prison if convicted. Price offered him 15 years on a single voluntary manslaughter charge. And this week, after Judge Mcannon denied Price's motion to remove himself for bias, she announced she's going to prevent him from hearing any criminal cases.
The judge is supposed to be an impartial referee managing cases that come before him.
You're trying to tear this system down from the inside out.
Michael Cardozo worked as a prosecutor in LA, San Francisco, and Alameda County before becoming a defense attorney. He explains Price could actually prevent Judge Mcannon from working on criminal cases because of California Code of Civil Procedure 170.6. An attorney for the defense or prosecution has one chance to disqualify a judge before a trial starts.
And then attorneys stand and take an oath. Say, we don't believe we are going to get a fair trial in front of Judge Noyes. Judge goes, okay, I will send it to someone else. We don't have to explain why. We do not have to explain why. We just don't want you for whatever reason.
So if Price puts out this blanket order to her attorneys, Judge Mcannon could never see another criminal case. He'd have to retire or start hearing civil matters.
The DA has I think, adopted a scorched earth policy with regard to the judge. And basically she, in doing so, has attacked his reputation, all of which I think is undeserved.
LaDoris Cordell was the first female black judge in Northern California. She tells me she has never heard of a district attorney making this move against a Superior Court judge.
What about the next judge who gets a case from this DA who says, no, I'm not going to approve this plea bargain, and explaining why I'm not going to do it? Then what's going to happen? The DA is going to say, okay, you're next up, and now we're not going to allow filings in your court. I'm very concerned, and I hope this doesn't set a precedent.
Judge Cordell tells me the situation may lead to a change in state law. Prosecutors in Price's own office are raising another issue with me. Could her social media video attacking the judge prejudice the jury in the upcoming trial? Well, that's set to start in 10 days, so we'll be watching this closely. Clearly a lot more to come.
As we've said, so unusual and unprecedented.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's apparently okay to remove a judge because he denied your ability to prosecute or do whatever this is to this guy because of prejudice. He did this, and now because he's done that, you're like, oh well, I'm now going to attack you. Now, here's the actual statement from the district attorney, Pamela Y. Price Bitchhole, that is trying to remove the said judge from his seat of power because she just can't stand him. It's hilarious in its own right. Take a look at this. It is insanity, really. It's really bloody insanity.
Justice system is now. My team and I are working hard and are committed to making sure that the process is fair and that the public is kept safe. I have been in office now for a few months, and I wanted to catch my breath and talk to you about what we have been working on. It has taken a while to get situated. To be perfectly frank, it hasn't been easy to make changes in this office. We have spent quite a bit of time establishing new, clear lines of management accountability and communication. I have already made some policy and protocol changes, and I will keep you updated on those changes as we go along. In the meantime, there are a lot of rumors buzzing through this community. Much of it is simply not true. Some people, including reporters, are saying things that are not based on facts. I will always be straight with you. But I also have to let you know there are some details about cases that I just can't talk about publicly because they are open cases that are still being prosecuted. For example, the case involving Delonzo Logwood and 2 other young men. I can't talk about the evidence in that case, but I want you to know that we have reviewed the case extensively to make sure that it can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. That's what we are committed to do with every case. It is against a prosecutor's ethics to try a case in the public, as some reporters are demanding that I do. I will provide more details about that case at the proper time. I can say that Judge Mark Mcannon overstepped his boundaries as a judicial officer and has created a firestorm of prejudicial comments that do not, in my view, serve justice. The judge is supposed to be an impartial referee managing cases that come before him. Because of Judge Mcannon's inappropriate comments and conduct on 2 separate occasions, my office will file a motion to disqualify him from hearing any criminal cases being prosecuted by our office. Thank you for your trust in me. I am honored and humbled that our community has shown its support for justice with compassion and for what my team is doing to honor that. Thank you.
Now, here's the thing. If that's the case, and he removed you for whatever, for not the right information in the case, then you should probably release it. Because what the judge has done is pretty much rejected the 15-year plea deal because he didn't think that it was wise to have this guy out within 15 years. He think he should have been 75 years. We're lucky that he's not executed. So I don't see how this is a remarkable even issue. You are also one of the people that are one of the many DAs that have gone out and reduced sentences from criminals to get to pretty much go free and create more havoc for the community. That's what you have done. You have not done any of any help or done any help for your society or your community whatsoever. You cause actually more havoc than benefiting it. And what some of these judges have done that were respectable ones, by the way, which, yeah, they're all happen to be black, which I don't know how that really matters, but it matters in this case because people will freak out, well, he's white or whatever. But no, they are black, and they're even saying that this is stupid, this is insanity. When all criminals and this type of stuff all these cases are backlogged, and it would cause a massive problem in the judicial system and whatever. And this is what this woman is doing. Try to create more chaos and cause more mayhem in the community, more deaths, more murders, more rapes, everything of the above. And this is what this woman is, I honestly think, is doing. Take a look at this on this report of what this woman is doing and all these judges and people have to comment on that's in this case and that's known about it.
He is going after a county judge, trying to bar him from hearing any criminal case. Some are calling it a gross abuse of power. Others say it's a critical tool that can be used to respond to judges who overstep their authority. NBC Bay Area's Valina Jones spoke with a retired judge and a current attorney with cases in Alameda courts about what this all means.
My office will file a motion to disqualify him from hearing any criminal cases being prosecuted by our office.
An unprecedented move this week from Alameda County District Attorney Pamela Price. In a pre-taped video statement posted online, the DA says she'll push to remove Judge Mark Mcannon from every criminal case in the county. The move comes weeks after the judge rejected a 15-year plea deal for a man accused of a triple murder, saying it was too lenient. Price declined our interview request today.
The Judge Mark Mcannon overstepped his boundaries as a judicial officer.
Price, who just took office a few months ago, ran on a reform platform, including a push to reduce prison sentences. But tonight, many say she's gone too far.
People want to change within the criminal justice system. Change, not tearing it down.
Defense attorney Michael Cardozo was in the courtroom when Judge Mcannon rejected motions by both the defense and prosecutors to remove him from the triple murder case. While Cardozo's own client has benefited from Price's plea deal in the past, he still questions her leadership.
It kicks victims to the curb, and it puts those type of criminals back in the community where they came from. I think people ought to start paying attention, because by the time you all wake up, it's going to be too late.
Retired Santa Clara Judge LaDoris Cordell says she would have rejected Price's plea deal in the triple murder too, and believes the move to remove a judge from all criminal cases in the county could have major consequences for the justice system.
She's basically reduced the number of judges in Alameda County who can preside over criminal cases at a time when criminal cases are backlogged in the courts.
Cordell says legally, Price has the ability to block Judge Mcannon from all criminal cases without question by filing an affidavit at the beginning of every case stating her office doesn't believe he can be impartial.
I'm very concerned about that. I think that that's an inappropriate use of the authority and the power of the DA's office.
So yes, it seems that this person is causing way more harm to the community and more damage for doing so, and this is what we have to face in these woke cities, these woke states, because these DAs will completely get rid of judges that would want to put criminals in jail, not let them release onto the streets, and attack them and remove their jobs from doing their jobs correctly and accurately. Now, and this is just a reality that we have to be facing. California, as I said, is just a communist shithole that's about to go down into flames, and I best everybody leave, which is what's doing. They have a mass exodus since 2018, and it's going to keep on going, and the only way to survive in any place is to leave California and maybe go to a state that would not, maybe let criminals out and have them murder you. Probably the best and safest area is rural areas, to where it takes a while for criminals to get to you. This is insanity in the making. We're about to go into Mad Max here pretty soon in the next few years if this keeps on going down the way it does. And I can't know what to tell you guys. Get the hell out. This is just the reality of the reality of things. The only way we can stop this is to remove these woke DAs, fix our way of thinking, and not have these people here, because this is insanity. Okay, let's just remove people let's just reduce sentences or judges for trying to punish criminals. That's great. Bloody great. That's gonna have a great benefit to society. Unfucking believable. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.